Good morning, everyone. This is the Department of Construction Economics and Management. We will be playing an introduction video for you and then be taking questions afterwards.
Good afternoon and welcome to UCT's virtual open day. We are the Department of Construction Economics and Management. My name is Karen Duchenne and I'm a senior lecturer in the Department of Construction Economics and Management. The agenda for our session today is a welcome by our Head of Department, Associate Professor Manya Moya, followed by a student perspective of their studies here with us. We'll then happily answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Karen, for that. And good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for joining us this afternoon. My part of the presentation is in 3 parts. Now, I'll speak, first of all, I'll give you an overview of the qualifications that we have to offer, but exciting qualifications in the department. Then I'll speak to marks of quality. Obviously, if you are anyone wanting a qualification that is interested in getting a sense of the quality that comes with it, and we have high quality qualifications, and that is signified international and local accreditation, and I'll speak to that. And then obviously it matters what happens at the end of the qualifications. We have exciting career options arising from the qualification offer. So I'll give you an overview of what is possible in that space. So these are our degree offerings. So the basic entry points are a BSc in Construction Studies, which is a 3-year undergraduate program that allows exit in either BSc Honours in Quantity Surveying, which is a 1-year program, or a BS Honours in Construction Management, which is a 1-year program as well. And the other option, entry point, is a BSc in Property Studies, which is a 3-year program that then allows entry into an honours program in Property Studies, which is a 1-year program. But beyond that, if one is interested, we have further postgraduate programs, and MSc in Property Studies, MSc in Project Management, and we have research degrees in MPhil and PhD. Now, what I really want to talk about is, what I want to say about these qualifications is that, first of all, they are professional qualifications, and I like to focus specifically on the undergraduate construction studies and property studies and construction management at QS. So they are professional degrees. That's the first thing to make point. And the second point, that is what that means is that they lead into professions that are regulated. And that provides a very clear pathways for professional development. The second point to point out is that these qualifications are our graduates at the heart of the production of the built environment. So when you walk our cities, the shopping centers, housing development, office complexes, and so that represents a product of the general area in which our graduates work. It's an important sector of the economy, and so if you really want to be part of that, part of an important sector of the economy that is important for job creation and creation of our environment and so on, these are the career options. These are the qualifications to have. Now, the other point I think worth mentioning is that why would you want to do this in the context of our department? First of all, we have a small department, a relatively small department. That means that you get personal attention. We have a very high success rate in terms of the going through the degrees. And then, of course, the obvious point is that you get these qualifications from the #1 university on the African continent, and we as a department actually the best that you can find in the content. And then, of course, at the end of the day is that one is interested in getting jobs and so on. So we have a high employment uptake for our graduates. Yes, I did speak about the high quality qualifications that we offer. Now, it's important that you don't just take our words for it. We have external entities that have provided us with a stamp of approval of the quality of these programs. And as you can see, we have South African entities, statutory bodies that accredit our programs. And what that means is that they regularly come and check and ensure that our programs are quality, that they're fit for purposes, that they're appropriate for the context, and then they look at our facilities, they look at our staff, they look at our research and all that. So the three of them, the Council of the Project Construction Management Professions, the Council of the Quantity Surveying Profession, the Council of the Property Valuers Profession. In addition to that, we have international accreditation by the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors and Chartered Institute of Building. Now, what that means is that our qualifications give you not only sort of local acceptance and all that, but it gives you international mobility. With the RICS accreditation, the CRB accreditation, our graduates can and have worked internationally without any problem. So you find them in Dubai, you find them in Europe, you find them in North America, you find them in Australia and all that. So you are guaranteed that with our qualifications, that you have qualifications that are recognized locally, but also respected internationally.
Our property studies graduates are highly sought after. They work for development companies like CEF, Rabi and Faircape. They work for banks such as RMB, Investec, and they work for insurance companies such as Old Mutual, Sanlam and Liberty. Investment companies like Allan Gray also snap them up. Naturally, they are the preferred employees of companies such as Growthpoint, Redefine, Broll and Aries. But they also find employment at the V&A waterfront and property listed funds. So if you are a young person with confidence and a positive attitude and you enjoy working with numbers or money, and you have great leadership and managerial and communication skills, then a career in property is definitely for you. The role of a construction manager is to coordinate and supervise a wide variety of building projects. Construction managers set schedules, keep an eye on finances, make sure that everybody is where they're supposed to be on an everyday basis, and they ensure that there are no safety hazards around. In general, they have to keep everyone happy. Construction managers have to be practically minded, innovative thinkers, organized and efficient, and action-orientated. Being a team player is vitally important, and you also need to be able to work under severe pressure. Many of our graduates have pursued professional registration and are working as professional construction project managers. They also become heavily involved in the finance side of construction companies, often becoming financial directors. Construction managers naturally drift into project management as well, and facility quality standards. The personality traits of a quantity surveyor is someone who is practically minded, enjoys problem solving in a methodical and logical way, and is an innovative thinker. You also have to enjoy working with numbers in a precise and analytical fashion. Being a team player is very important, and having self-confidence and the ability to work under pressure stands you in excellent stead. Our graduates have found fantastic employment opportunities as quantity surveyors. Many become registered quantity surveyors with consultancy firms. Others work for contracting firms. The other opportunities that you have is to become an arbitrator or the principal agent or a project manager.
As they say in the classics, proof is in the pudding. We've asked 4 of our recent graduates to give their insights as to why they chose to study in our department.
Hi everyone, my name is Anita Ferger and I've been asked to say a little something about my time here at UCT. And with that, I will start at the beginning. I actually started studying civil engineering straight out of high school and soon realized that was not something I wanted to do. Fast forward a few months later, I had come across quantity surveying, and after speaking with various professional industry leaders and friends of mine who had done the degree, I made the decision to change to construction studies with the intention of becoming a quantity surveyor. I think that studying construction studies also felt right for me in terms of my skill set. I found myself to be a very practical and highly organized person and someone who really likes a good challenge and to solve problems. I also believe the degree exposes you to various opportunities and many industries, and it is one that doesn't restrict you to one field, and that's something I greatly valued.
I'm here today to share my experiences as a graduate of our department. At first, the journey seemed long, but looking back on it now, I may wish that the journey was slightly longer, for it was very fruitful. About myself, I completed my undergraduate degree in construction studies in 2019 and did my honors in quantity surveying last year. This year, I came back to Mauritius and started working as a junior quantity surveyor for a firm called OCA Limited. So why did I choose to be a quantity surveyor? Well, my dad was a quantity surveyor, well, he is a quantity surveyor actually, and I grew up being fascinated by the built environment. So I guess that adds up to why I chose this field.
Hi, my name is David Leach, and I finished my honours in construction management in 2020, and I'm currently working as a construction project manager. Being a very practical person growing up, I thought the best option for me when leaving school was to pursue civil engineering, which I actually did for 2 years. But I soon realized that the intense technicality and fairly singular focus gave me no enjoyment, and I couldn't actually envision myself being a civil engineer. After taking some time to reevaluate and working for a small construction contractor, I realized that I did enjoy being in the construction industry and the built environment, but just in a slightly different way. I realized I enjoyed having diverse knowledge about all the different aspects of the construction industry, and I enjoyed working closely with people from different professions, all working towards a common goal. This led me to pursue construction studies at UCT, which was a great fit, and the enjoyment I found in it allowed me to excel. I think one of the greatest strengths of all the degrees within the CM department is the diverse array of subjects that they expose you to, which provide you with a great foundation with which to enter the industry. I thoroughly enjoyed my time in the CM department, and in my experience, it's a department that strives to look after each student, with lecturers who are approachable and push you to reach your full potential.
Hi everyone, my name is Jason Green, and I'm a recent graduate of the BSc Honours in Property Studies degree here at UCT. I've been asked to share a few words regarding my take on this field of study, the real estate sector, and what I've learned along the way. Firstly, a bit of context. I spent my first year at university studying engineering because it seemed like the logical thing to do, but I quickly lost interest as I had no real understanding of what it was that I wanted out of my future career. From there, I wound up studying a BCom specializing in financial management, and this really piqued my interest in business, and it allowed me to gain clarity on what my strengths and interests were. From there, I decided to try to distinguish myself in the marketplace with the goal of specializing within a particular sector. So I enrolled in the BSc Property Studies degree and joined a private development company where I worked during the course of my studies. It was here that my bum fell in the butter. Not in a financial sense, but rather in the sense that I had found myself in the process of growing and gradually specializing in a sector which really excited me. Real estate is such a broad sector, and there are so many pathways with which you can approach it. Whether it's investments, developments, technology, surveying, legal, construction, you get the picture. There are heaps of avenues. Keep in mind that we are talking about the biggest asset class in the world here. And with real estate being an asset class, it means that no matter the angle with which you approach it, you will always be dealing with an underlying asset with intrinsic value fundamentally attached to it. What this means is that it is possible to leverage experience and knowledge gained between the various pathways I previously mentioned. This is something I find particularly appealing, as this can lead to unique insights, innovation, and opportunities as you connect the dots. For these reasons, I'm a strong advocate for the sector. After all, your career is going to be a major part of your life. Make sure you get involved in something exciting and filled with opportunity.
The University of Cape Town is a research-led university. Our department is actively collaborating in research associated with the Fourth Industrial Revolution, where we are looking at cutting-edge technology and thinking, such as the use of virtual reality and augmented reality, drones, 3D printing, blockchain, to name but a few in the built environment. Thank you for listening. We will now answer your questions.
What average do you need to get into construction and property studies? Saul, do you want to take that one?
So you need at least 65% in NSC maths. So that's not maths literacy. It must be NSC maths or an equivalent from another school leaving body. And my recollection, Corin, is 450 faculty points to get into the programs, a minimum of 450 points, which is based on the scorecard provided by the faculty that corresponds to your school results for each subject. So it's not necessarily an average per se, but it does correspond to points for each subject from your 6 best subjects.
Yeah. If I might add to that, clearly you don't want to have a minimalistic approach. And depending on the quality of the cohort, the entry point might be a bit more or less. But just to give you a bit of a context, in the most recent admission cycle, you needed an average of 70% across 6 subjects for you to get into the program. So that gives you an indicator of the level of performance that we're expecting as a minimum.
In addition, for construction study students, they also need physical science as an entry course, having been done at school, and the minimum requirement there is 55%. The question here is, does UCT offer property investment courses? I believe that's part of the curriculum.
So yes, so if you're registered as a property studies student, you will do both external, what we call service courses, which are part of the commerce faculty, which are the foundation courses, and then specialist courses within the property degree. So just to give you a bit of background, the foundation courses would be courses like math, statistics, economics, accounting, and finance. But then within the property degree, you will do property investment and finance 1, property investment and finance 2, which the first course is a feasibility and financial management course within the property context, and the second course, the property and investment finance 2, which is at 3rd year level, looks at debt structuring, both from the lender's perspective and from the bank's perspective, the borrower's perspective. And then in honors, you will also do a course in portfolio management. So there is lots of property finance in different forms throughout the degree.
The next question is it required for us to write the NBTs? As far as I'm aware, yes. We haven't, yes, it's a university requirement as well as a faculty requirement. However, your NBT scores are not part of your faculty entry score. It is merely used as a guideline to give us indication to compare apples with apples, I believe.
So yes, at the moment, NBT is not a barrier. It's not a barrier for admission. I think that's an important point to make.
Okay. There's a question about physics being a prerequisite. Yes, for construction studies. Maths and physics for construction studies, only maths for property studies. The question posed here, what key elements do the courses focus on? It doesn't specify specifically which degree, but I guess let me quickly jump in there and talk about the construction side of things. We have a common undergraduate degree, and in the honours year you specialize in quantity surveying and construction management. But in the undergraduate degree, we focus on consolidating your construction technology knowledge, whereafter we then provide you with certain key skills in terms of quantification, understanding the business cycles so that you can do cost management and cost prediction. And we also very much focus on construction management as a skill set for understanding how construction projects are put together. On property, hand over to my colleagues.
Okay, so the thrust of the property degree there are several. We've spoken earlier about finance, that's one. There's valuation, there's property law, and then there's an element of property economics and development with a little touch of technology on the side. In your third and fourth year, you'll also be exposed to facilities management and some environmental, a new course around property and the environment. So it is a multidisciplinary thrust through the property degree, but with 3 or 4 key foci. And if the head wants to add to that.
Nothing. I think that's perfect.
Just to let you know that Mary has corrected me in the chat. EBE do not require NBTs, but if you put down your first choice or second choice in another faculty and one in the engineering faculty, the other faculties are requiring you to write the NBTs. So if both your choices are within the engineering and the built environment faculty, then you will not be required to write the NBTs for 2023 admission. So far, I don't see any other questions. Yeah, sorry. Oops. Nope. I just thought to mention that 2 of the students that were in those videos have subsequently gone on to greater and wonderful things. Mohammed, for example, has won the Association of South African Quantity Surveying's gold medal, which means he's the best quantity surveying student in South Africa, holds that title for 2021. Anita has qualified with her honours degree, and she's now working at one of the top quantity surveying firms in the country. Our graduates, we had a prize giving on Thursday night, and it was just fantastic to see the achievements of our students and to feel the sense of community and among the students and parents and supporters who were there to congratulate our winners of prizes. But that said, as a department, as Manya mentioned, we're a small department and we care very much about all our students.
Yeah, just to add to that, Karen, one of the students that was awarded multiple prizes in the prize giving that we just recently had, who wasn't there, which informed me later that evening via email that he was accepted for a master's program at St Andrews University in the UK. So he was a property honours graduate, and so his degree and his academic performance and his international accreditation probably played a big role in being accepted onto a master's, I think, in finance at St Andrews.
There's a question in the chat, which I guess I need to answer. Does construction studies allow access to high-paying jobs? Construction management and quantity surveying are scarce skills. The country is suffering from a shortage of these skills. And if there's a shortage of skills, it means that people pay top dollar for qualified youngsters who enter the construction phase. That said, our graduates are working all over the world. So yes, it is a well-paying career to consider.
Apologies, 3 minutes left.
Okay. Then if one applied for civil engineering and wants to change to property studies, will it be a mission? No, as long as you meet our entrance requirements, you would then, at registration, approach the HOD to see if we have space to take students who didn't make the first offer, one of our degrees. Am I right, Manya?
Yeah, normally it's not a problem to make the change. And a very quick response. We are quite firm on the minimum required. There was a question around 63% maths and 71% average. We are quite very strict on the minimum requirements. It doesn't matter what average you get, you have to meet the minimum requirements for maths and physics.